get going. So really appreciate you guys being here tonight and taking the time on your business. That's really the key to success, is the more that you put into this business, of course, the more you'll get out of it. So my name is Andrea Sale. I'm an executive director, soon to be senior executive, thanks to all of you guys. I've been doing Pampered Chef for about 12 years, and I've been building my business first alongside a full-time job, and then I was able to quit my full-time job to do Pampered Chef. So of course, I love the products, the company, the perks, the trips, everything that they have for us. I literally call it a buffet of opportunity they've given us, and it's our job to pick up and choose what we want to earn from that. But my favorite thing is sharing what I've learned and over the years, and what works to be successful. So I really like sharing, whether it be teaching some people something new. So whether it's a kitchen tip for my hosts or a recipe, or sharing what I've learned in this business with new consultants just like you guys. So I love that we get the opportunity to help someone find freedom. So whether it's financial freedom, time freedom, freedom from a job they hate, or maybe you love your job, but you don't like the time it takes away from your family, or maybe you're not getting the recognition that you deserve for the job that you're in. I love helping people do what they want in their life. So whether that be travel more, be a stay-at-home mom, retire early, whatever that is, I'm excited that you've decided to join our family, because it really is like a family. You'll see on the team page that no question is stupid. Feel free to ask any questions that you'd like. We all got the same kit. You guys actually got better kits, but we all started with the same kit to get us going, and we have a phenomenal community here that you just joined. So tonight I'm going to show you a few different things. So one is where to find training. Two is our fast track reward program, and then also some information on Facebook and how to set up your parties. So for a minute here, I just want you guys to imagine that you can have and do and achieve anything you want with your Pampered Chef business. The sky is literally the limit, especially in Canada, where we are pretty much ground floor. It's actually pathetic how few consultants we have in all of Canada. So for example, Sensi alone has about 5,000 consultants in Alberta. Pampered Chef doesn't even have 5,000 consultants in all of Canada. So whether you're looking to quit your job, buy a new car, pay off debt, stay home with your kids, the list goes on, or maybe you want all the amazing products for free or discounted. I wish that somebody would have told me, do not spend money on the products. You're going to get pretty much the entire catalog twice over for free. When I first started, I spent a ton of money on products, and I wish that somebody would have told me, just wait, you're going to get it all for free. So all it takes is passion and hard work and consistency. So dedicating the time to your business. And I want you to dream and imagine a little bit about what it would feel like to achieve your goal. So what if you were to earn a trip with Pampered Chef, or make that extra income that you're looking for? What would it feel like? Who would be there to cheer you on? And what would they say? So hold on to these feelings, because the fact of the matter is there's major ups and downs in direct sales and in this business. And that's why we see such a high consultant turnover. I can tell you from experience that the ups far out exceed the downs, but you need that feeling to hold on to and that goal to go back to. Why are you even doing this? So that if you have a whole day of hearing no's, which is totally normal, or a whole day of hearing no responses, you don't feel like, you're a failure. That's totally normal and part of the business. So when the tough gets going and you start to feel defeated, you come back to the reason that you got started, and often that will give you the strength to keep going and talk to just one more person. So just because you're hearing no a lot or no response, that's actually good, because that means you're asking. So they say about 1 in 10 people are going to say yes to either the business or a party. I personally would rather hear no than no response. I do not care about hearing no. As soon as you change your your thought around the word no, it totally changes the way that you do your business. So I used to get super upset when I would hear, not super upset, but I'd kind of be like, start up here, like, yeah, I'm going to book a bunch of shows. And then you hear no, no, no. And then by, your 10th no, you're like, this sucks. But now if you change your emotion around no, when I hear no, I'm like, you're crazy. Next. Like, you don't want to do a party with me? You're going to get like a ton of free stuff. We're going to have a blast. You're crazy. So I have a little tracker sheet that I'm going to post. Just going to write that down, then I'm going to post it it's called Going for No. So for every 10 no's that you get, you're going to get a special treat. So for example, you hear 10 no's, you get a specialty coffee. You hear another 10 no's, you get a bubble bath. Say you get down to 100 no's, maybe you get a new pair of shoes. But the point is that you're rewarding yourself for getting those no's because it means that you're actually trying and that you're actually going after the asks. And while you're getting all those no's, you're going to get a whole bunch of yeses along the way. So once you change your perception about no's, it really makes a huge difference. So tips for getting off to a strong start. So if you guys have already done a launch party or you haven't done one yet, I highly recommend doing a virtual or a live launch. And they actually recommend that you book 4 to 6 parties in your first 2 weeks. I know that sounds like a lot, but we're looking for 4 to 6 parties in all different social circles, so virtual parties. But I'm going to show you at the end how you can actually schedule your posts and how we run our parties in a way that if you have one show, you can do 4. They're all running at once. Your host coaching all the same. The reason we like to do 4 parties at once, you'll hear us say that a lot. Who has their 4 parties starting on Monday? Who's starting their 4 parties this week? Is because often one party can be a dud. So one party can be like $0, super common. One party can be at $200. One party can be 1,000, and one party can be 1,500. But if you did just that $0 party, you're gonna be like, virtual parties suck. I hate virtual parties. But if you're doing 4 at once, and it's awesome if they all make it over $200 and qualify, great. But if not, you have other parties to lay back on, which is great. So when you first start, we kind of call it, and I still think of myself sometimes as a copy and paste consultant. So underneath Team Sale, you'll see that there is an event called November Template. And I'm also going to post some scripts for you guys to get bookings. And the big trick is you want to go A to Z down your friends list on Facebook and copy paste a message to get a booking. So it's like, hey, I've just started my business with Pampered Chef. It's the best time to host a party because people are buying Christmas gifts, would love to pamper you and your friends. My next round starts on Monday. What do you think? And literally the most common response you're going to get is no response. So don't feel like you're failing or anything like that. Super common. So just keep going. You'll find a lot of people will come back to you with yeses down the road as well. And you'll kind of planted the seed, and then sometimes you'll get yeses right away, which is super exciting. So once you have these bookings, you can create a group on Facebook, and then you're going to add your host. The big key here is you want at least 20 to 30 people added to the group before you start doing your posts for your virtual parties. So about a year ago, if you created a group and you added 200 people, there'd be 200 people in the group. We'd start doing posts and we'd have a great party. Boom. Facebook literally changes almost every single day. They're doing something different, totally different every day. So now if you invite people to a group, they have to click join group in order to see the posts, which really changes our attendance. So I don't like to start my virtual party posts until I have at least 20 to 30 people in that group. And in order to get that attendance up, we send our hosts at least 1 post per day to do. And they're always, you'll see in the template, they're always really just silly engagement posts. So it's things like, what do you do for your work? Comment below in a GIF. Or if you could eat one food for the rest of your life, what would it be, and not gain weight, comment below with a GIF. So interaction equals sales. So our goal here is to try and get people to interact and play along as much as humanly possible. The host has to do one post a day. And it's so funny because you could do the fanciest, shiniest, most beautiful virtual party on the entire planet with, it's just gorgeous, blah, blah, blah. And the host doesn't post anything. You're probably not going to get any sales at all. So it literally comes down to host coaching and your host doing at least one post per day. And so I just send them post of the day, please put this in the group. And I send them a photo, and then all their friends start interacting. So once your posts are scheduled, don't feel like you need to be a slave to your computer. I'm going to show you on my computer here how to schedule your posts via Facebook. And if you guys want to write this down, there is also a few different programs. One is called Cinch Share, Cinch, Cinch Share, and the other one is called Post My Party. And both of those guys are great posting websites that we use to schedule our posts, so you're literally not a slave to your computer or posting all the time. You set up the template once to do a party, and then as soon as you get another booking, you just hit batch post and it runs for that party. So all you'll have to do is send your host one post per day. So you want to think of different social circles in your life of people to ask. So you guys can write this down, the Franks list. Have you guys ever heard of this? I'll just tell you what the Franks stands for. So F is for friends, R is for relatives, A is for associates, so like coworkers, for example, or your husband's coworkers. N is for neighbors. K is for kids connections or anybody you know who has kids. And then S is either spouse connections or social, so more acquaintances in your life. Actually, A can be for acquaintances too, but so those are kind of a good list to write down of different people that you can reach out to. And another good one is people out of province, as I was posting on the team page. We really don't have enough consultants in BC or the Maritimes, Saskatchewan. We're looking, actually, even Alberta, we're looking for consultants really bad. So whenever somebody places an order on my website and they're from like BC, for example, I'll write them a message and be like, we have no consultants in BC. Have you ever thought about doing something like this? So you can do a virtual party for anywhere in Canada for anyone. So just an FYI, we often think that our business is going to start with our people closest to us, but that's not always the case. So you're totally normal if all the people who you thought, I see some people nodding, would help you start your business are not the ones who are saying yes to your parties. So my big joke is that my mom has still to this day not had a party for me. I've been doing it for 13 years and have had a really hard time. When I first started, had a really hard time securing some cooking shows in the beginning, and it was the people that I least expected in the end that were the ones who ended up booking a party for me. So don't be discouraged if the people you thought were going to have a party for you don't, because that's super common. Keep asking. So I'm going to challenge you guys to message 30 people a day. Yes, 30 people. So you guys can a big key to this is actually writing down and keeping track of your contacts. So 30 people a day starting now or starting tomorrow until you're fully booked. And fully booked would mean minimum 4 parties per week for the next 2 months or before the Christmas cutoff. So I guarantee you, after doing 1 day of sending 30 messages a day, you will definitely have 4 to 6 shows booked right away. So that doesn't mean you're talking to 30 people. You may only actually have 5 or 6 people talk back to you. I don't want you to think that I send 30 messages and 30 people talk back. Yeah, right. I get ghosted all the time too. So the majority of people will not respond to you at all. So, one thing you can do as well is if somebody writes you back and says, I'm not interested, I always ask for a referral. So I'll say, do you know anybody who you think would love to have a party? Do you know anybody who loves Pampered Chef, loves to cook, loves to bake? So don't be afraid to ask for referrals. And then follow up with anybody who hasn't responded to you in about 48 hours. So 2 days after you send the message, oftentimes people are driving or they're at a kid's sport or something that prevented them from writing back. So you can do a funny little GIF, like we've had a few shared on the team page of like a little fishbowl, like "What are you there?" or like "Hey," or just a little smiley face even. And then oftentimes those are the people who will be like, "Oh, I saw your message, but I didn't write back. Yeah, I would totally be interested." Or they say, "No, but maybe January." I just love getting a response much better than a no response at all. Or you can send a funny sticker like, "What do you think?" Things like that. Our most successful people on the team try and get two buddies to work with them now. So try and think of two people in your life who you think would be awesome at this. So someone who loves to cook, someone who loves to eat, someone who's always posting photos of food, somebody who was laid off or their spouse was laid off, somebody who needs a break from the kids or needs to make more friends. So this business is so much more fun with friends, and it's statistically proven that friends who start together are actually quite a bit more successful. One of the most satisfying feelings in the whole world is when somebody joins your team and they submit their first party and they're so excited. Or I love when I have a friend who signs up and they like call me freaking out or sending me a text because they received their best order. That's like or their first order. That's like the best feeling in the world. So even though I didn't do that for them, it feels really good to know that you had a helping hand in someone being successful. So you'll feel so good when you can help other people succeed. So we always say that building a team is literally how you make real money doing this, and it has nothing to do with you. So I want to build a team and I want to move up the career plan. It has to do with how you can change somebody's life. So you don't know who on your Facebook or in your life is under a mountain of debt. You don't know who is laying in bed, tossing and turning because they couldn't send their kid to camp this summer. You don't know who's laying in bed, tossing and turning, thinking about how or am I going to afford Christmas for my family this year? This business can literally be that for people. And on our team, we've had people that have dug themselves out of massive debt amounts. They have quit full time jobs, really great jobs that they didn't really like all that much. We've had people that have been able to stay home with their kids because they used to drive away from daycare crying every day, dropping their kids off. I always joke my goal was to stay home with my kids so I didn't have to put my kids in daycare. And now I've accomplished that goal, and now I want to put my kids in daycare. uh, anyway, so let's see here. So that's my big funny story that now I have my kids at home, and now I'm looking to put them in. You also want to look for people who are looking for more fun in your life. We are totally the fun team. We have a leadership retreat or a leadership conference that's coming up in Calgary, Alberta. All you need is two people on your team, and you can join us in Calgary for an unbelievable conference. It's going to be really, really fun. So that's going to be January 9th to 11th. We'd love to have a lot more of us coming. We really want to represent with like the biggest amount possible. So I'm going to send you guys post some scripts after this of things you can message people to get bookings, but they essentially sound like, hey, I'm not sure if you saw, but I just started out with Pampered Chef, and so far I'm really having fun with it. I thought of you because you love to cook. Are you in the market for making some extra income? So the easiest way ever to ask somebody about the business is say, hey, have you ever thought about doing something like this? That's what I was asked at a cooking show 12 years ago. I hosted my own cooking show and I was like, no, I would never do something like this. And the lady planted a seed, and 2 weeks later I called and signed up. So you want to think of people who you really would like to work with. somebody who's busy. Actually, our busiest people are our most successful people. So someone who's really successful in business or actually has a lot of kids, those, it sounds weird, but they can often be our most successful consultants. So the busier someone is, they tend to be the most successful. So you can literally just, I'll post the script too, but hey, I don't know if you saw, I just started out with Pampered Chef. I'm having a lot of fun. And are you interested in making some extra income, or have you ever thought about doing something like this? So with when you have your host benefits, so they're going to get some free stuff, some 50% off stuff, and a 60% off item. And this month is great because it's 60% off anything in the catalog. So I challenge you guys to definitely host your own show if you haven't yet. So if you don't have the quick cooker or the blender, you need them. Or if you're posting about them and your friends want them, they need to have a party this month. So they can get the blender for like 179 bucks or the quick cooker for 120 bucks. But then with their free product, they can also use a kit credit. You guys ever heard of these? So a kit credit is they can use 25 or $50 of their free products towards a kit. So they can choose any one of the kits and it'll take 25 or $50 off of the kit. So that make sure to let every host know they can use that because it could be a life-changing opportunity for them. Most people don't know about it. So think of it as like a free or 50% off. You would not offer that to a host. So you want to make sure that you're going to let them know about the kit credit as well and never prejudge. So I'm going to post something in our event afterwards as well about asking your hosts 5 times about the business, which sounds crazy and sounds like you're asking too many times. But number one, if you're ever worried about being pushy, you're not, because if you're passionate about what we're doing, you're not going to be pushy. And we've had so many people, especially last month, on their 5th ask sign up. It's especially women's nature. As soon as they hear, as soon as they get asked, do you want to do something? Do you want to book a show? Their immediate response is no. That's so the most common response. That's why only 5% of people we ask to host a show or we ask about the business are going to say yes on the first try. So you'll see if I look back on a lot of my messages, a lot of my hosts or my new consultants will say, I am so glad you asked me multiple times. I'm so sorry I said no so many times. And I'm so appreciative you kept on me. Because I'll go over to a girlfriend's house and I'll look at her cookware. I'll be like, oh, girl, you got to host a show. You have not very good cookware at all. So you really can't prejudge. All right, talking a mile a minute here. So for host coaching. So host coaching is our most important part of our business. If we don't host coach, we are not going to get any sales. So when you're doing a live cooking show, when you're host coaching and your host calls you or you're texting or emailing and they're like, yeah, I'm so excited. I have 3 people coming to my show. If you were to celebrate that with them and be like, that's awesome, 3 people's perfect, you're only going to have 3 people to sell to at that party. So when you're being a coach for your host, you can say to them, 3 people is a great start. Why don't we get each of those people to ask a friend? And you know, the most people are going to firm up a day or 2 before. So I need you to invite quite a few more people. We're looking for at least 8 to 12 people for your cooking show. If you don't have bums in the seats to sell to, you could put on the shiniest, most beautiful cooking show ever, but you're not going to sell very much. Same with our virtual parties. Host coaching is key. So if they don't post in the group once a day, if they don't really invite a lot of people, and the biggest trick as well to a virtual party is the day before the last day of the party. Doesn't matter how long you run your virtual, if it's 3 days or 5 days or 7 days. When it's the day before the last day, you have to tell your host, and I can post this script too. They need to message every single person in the party and say, thank you so much for playing along with my party. Here's the link to order. If the host doesn't do this, your party is often a flop. And it's so funny because as soon as the host, you have, say you have a bunch of parties running and you tell the host to do this, all of a sudden your email will be like bing, 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 bing with orders. And if the host doesn't do it, she probably won't get any orders. I personally will not order from a virtual party unless the host messages me. So this is a really important part of your virtual parties. So bookings are the lifeblood of your business. If you don't have any bookings, you don't have a business. So once you get the bookings, if no one buys anything, you still don't have a business. So that's why host coaching is so important. So host coaching is going to determine how much money you make. So whether it's $0 or $200 or it's $2,500, it all has to do with the host engagement. So when you get really good at host coaching, that's really all you have to do. I know that sounds super weird, but now that all my posts are scheduled in my virtual parties, most of my time is spent coaching my host to tag people in some games or sending them a post of the day. So help your host dream big. So make sure to send a host package to either your live or your virtual bookings. So in my host package, I include 2 catalogs, a few wish lists that you can find under marketing imagery or order forms. And then you can send them the host or the guest special of the day. And then make sure they fill out a wish list on the website. So you want to make sure they're really focused on the rewards they want. So what you're trying to do is help them set a goal for a minimum $1,000 party, which would be approximately 15 orders. So follow the host coaching system for, so let's see here. So the host coaching system is essentially that you're sending them a post every single day. And for live parties, the host coaching system is you're making sure they're getting more than just 2 people to the party. And really, if are people who aren't able to make it, they're collecting orders from people who aren't able to make it. So make sure to pay attention to your team groups. So your upline probably has a group for you, but there's also team sale. So I know that there's lots of groups, but that's not a bad thing because it means more networking, free training for you guys, resources, images, and more community. Although I know it can get overwhelming. So I always say to new people, the most important thing is that you have bookings. It doesn't matter if you don't feel trained or you don't feel ready. You know, you'll learn from doing, and the more bookings you can get, that's the most important part to this business. Pampered Chef also sends out a weekly email called Stir that you're going to get. So set aside a few minutes each week to review this because there's lots of good tips in there. So fast track rewards. So be very intentional about earning this. So you guys would have received an email with your 30 and 90-day end dates. And if you don't know where those are, you can't find them. You can also find them when you're logged in under Consultant Connection. Put them in your phone so you know when your 30 and 90-day end dates are. So this is free product that Pampered Chef is willing to give you guys on top of your commission. So you can actually print this flyer off and put it on your fridge. So once you hit 600, you get a little ceramic egg cooker with a spatula. Once you hit 1500, you get a skillet. 3000, you get a really beautiful skillet. And then after, let's see here, what is it, 6,000, you get the knife block set. So really, really, really good special. So we have a concept that we call for every 4, add 1 more. So for every 4 shows that you do, you should be expecting to add 1 new person to your team. So whether that's 4 shows a month or 4 shows every 2 weeks or 4 shows a week, you'll want to still start to be building your team in your first 90 days because you also get $100 cash in your pocket for every new recruit that you sign that also submits $1,500 in their first 90 days. So I talked already about the satisfaction of helping others and knowing you impacted someone else, but you'll also get that bonus for yourself of the $100. So you can also earn our fast track to director bonus. And there's been quite a few people on our team who have earned this. So this is if you find 5 people who do what you do, by the end of your first 90 days, you're going to get $1,000 bonus. So what would you, here, let's have some people type in the chat. What would you guys do with an extra $1,000? You guys see that chat window there? Pay off bills or put it towards a car. Love it. Let's see what else. Vacation, debt payment, pay bills, Christmas in cash. Woohoo! So if you are interested in working towards directorship, which is our coveted red apron, and finding at least 5 people who do what you do, let us know, because it is just such an awesome way. So you got vacation, Christmas in cash, such an awesome way to really capitalize on all of the amazing incentives Pampered Chef has put out there for us. And finding 5 people that we do what we do at this time of year is not too hard, because it's literally our top month of the year. So if you feel like you're not getting enough bookings right now, or you're not getting bookings, my question, oh yeah, it says pay my power bill. Yeah, awesome. So if you feel like you're not getting enough bookings, or you haven't made enough traction, my big question is, how many people are you asking? And feel free, if you're not getting the results you're looking for, feel free to send screenshots to your upline of how you're asking. And try not to alter our scripts, that we call them magic scripts, because they really do get us bookings. Some more. Oh, pay your atrocious power bill. Love it. I was like, is that attorney's power bill? So we also have a really cool training program on the system called Dash. So I'm just going to share my screen here so you guys can see that. There we go. And it is the big purple button. When you first log in, you'll see Dash training. So here we go on consultants consultant connection here, consultants corner. Oh, here we go, logged me out. Dash is fantastic. So it's bite-sized training that is customized to where you are in your business. So it'll tell you how many shows it can see how many shows you've done. It can see exactly where you are, and then give you really great training. It was designed by consultants, so people who are new in the business, people who have been around a long time. Oh, right, here we go. Computer. Technology. There we go. So you'll see it's the big purple button here at the top under home. So I highly recommend, and it's super fun because you can earn badges. Here's the Dash training right here. So you can click on that and start training. That is a really important one if you haven't done that yet. Okay. So I know that there's 10,000 things that you can learn about how to be a consultant, but you don't need to know that all right now. Do as much training as you want, but my advice to you is to spend your time getting shows booked and to do people-y things during people-y hours. So that means from the time of like 7 a.m. in the morning till 11 p.m., those are people-y hours to be asking people for shows. And you want to make sure whatever you're working on in your business is income generating activities. So if you're at 3 p.m., you're stamping catalogs with your name and information, yeah, it's not very income generating. You want to be looking for shows, asking for shows, setting aside time that says, when are you actually going to work? So I like to, Monday nights is one of my favorite nights to work. I'll set a timer. I'll work from 7 till 9 p.m. And it's funny when you actually set a timer and choose when you want to get to work, because if you don't, often you'll go to your office or you'll sit down to ask people for bookings, and you'll send out 5 messages and be like, okay, cool, I work tonight. You want to try and do a minimum of 30 asks per day until you're completely booked. So we love Facebook. It's given us a great business lately. We want to follow their rules. And the number one rule is that business needs to be done on a business page. So the first thing that you want to do, if you haven't already, is set up a business page. So I'll show you how to create a business page on Facebook here. I just got to load mine up. And you will be doing your postings from your business page, so for your party. So I'm just going to show you how to create a business page. So on Facebook here, you can click on this create button at the top, and then it'll pop up and say create a group, create a business page. We'll just wait till it responds. There we go. So create a page. So you'll be creating a page in this case. So you'll want to create a business page. And then when you set up a Facebook party, you'll want to be creating a group. So you can create the group right from here. But then what you want to do is you want to link your business page, because we want to avoid Facebook jail. So I'll show you what that means. I know this is kind of overwhelming. I'm just going to show you here. So let me just bring up one of my virtual parties I have running right now. So holiday prep with Erica. Here's one. So here's my virtual party. I like to name them something fun, like holiday prep with Erica, instead of just Erica's virtual Pampered Chef party. So I always pin the link to order right at the top, or make it an announcement so it always stays up there. And you'll see that I've done my posts here. Just it really doesn't matter how much you post per day or what you post. All it has to do with is, see, there's my host doing her post of the day. What's for lunch? Look, 21 people saw it, but no one participated. No fun. So in order for me, see how I'm posting? Oh, this one's not posting for my business page. Interesting. Oh, it says interacting over here on the left-hand side. Interacting is Andrea's Pampered page. So what that means is that my business page is doing the post. So in order to link that, what you can do is, once your group is created from your main Facebook page, you can click on more and then edit group settings. And then it'll bring up a link. It says link business page, and you just click on that and link your business page. Wait a sec for that to come up here. But yeah, right, it'll say, so I just went under group settings and it'll say link, and then you can click on link your business page. I'll post a screenshot of that after as well, just because we're starting to run out of time. So give yourself permission to be new. It is absolutely okay not to know everything, and this is a safe space. No one is judging you for asking questions. A lot of times new consultants get really frustrated and overwhelmed, and that feeling that won't allow you to see clearly and feel successful no matter what you do. So think of it like any other job. Have you ever started a brand new job before? Do you remember how you felt? Probably pretty overwhelmed, frustrated. You can't know it all before you do it. So give yourself some grace, allow yourself to be a beginner, and reach out to us for help, because that is literally our full-time job. Is I am teaching people how to do Pampered Chef like 16 hours out of the day. So never feel like it's a dumb question or anything like that. So anybody have any questions? A lot of information. Like I said before, the biggest thing is, what's your question? Most likely, oh yes, Jenna says, if you have a question, no questions done, most likely someone else has the same thing. I'll post some of these scripts, but the biggest thing is to take aside time for your business to get the bookings, because without bookings, you do not have a business. No questions? Amazing. I will, on the event, I'm going to post a whole bunch of scripts as well for you guys. And then if you think of anything, feel free to ask me in the event as well. Really appreciate you guys taking this time to learn more. We always say learners are earners. So the more time, yeah, we'll think of some after. The more time that you can spend training or looking at any of the webinars we've done, the more successful you will be. Excuse me. Thanks, you guys. It was nice to see you guys a lot of nice to put a face to a name. We'll see you later.